Being 4:30, we'll open up the sewer commissioner meeting. Elaine, aye.
Bill Watson, aye.
Brian Donahoe.
I'm just gonna take number 2 out of order, review of draft MOU. Because Eric has other obligations tonight. So I had sent out a draft and just marked up what Eric had sent us. If we just want to, look it over, I don't know if anybody's had a chance. Basically what I did is I just moved around different topics. For example, one of the statements was ensure roadway restitution complies with the highway department standards, and that was listed under water and sewer. I know water and sewer don't know what the standards are, so I just moved that and made that more of the responsibility that whenever we do any work, highway signs off on it, and, obviously they can be involved through the whole process with monitoring any work we do on site. I changed everything that said sewer department to wastewater department. Another one said we'll inspect manhole infrastructure every 2 years, which I believe I put, high roll inspect them with wastewater, and I put in on a yearly basis. Like jointly, they'll go and inspect them.
That is a really good idea.
And then coordinating, it says all departments, it says departments agree to hold quarterly coordination meetings to review up and coming projects. I put that in highway stating highway will do the coordination and water and sewer will attend. So it's those type of just fine tuning. The one major thing I did change was for staffing. It said wastewater shall provide no fewer than 1 and preferably 2 employees to assist the highway department with plowing operations. I changed shall to may. And Eric picked up on that, so, which I expected to. So, I mean, I can, we can go back and forth on some of the other issues. If you think this is something we can put a clean copy out to everybody.
We just need to get feedback from water as well.
Yeah.
Highway looked at this originally in the police and fire, and we're okay. They added a few. I didn't come up with all this. Highway came up with some of it. Fire, sewer. Fire and police. So when these changes all make sense to me.
Okay.
I get the shall to may.
Okay.
So once we get feedback from water, then we'll take it back to highway then with a clean copy for everybody. And if we need to have like a joint meeting or something, we can. But just to backtrack, I think you guys already know this. So this is in lieu of pursuing the DPW. This is, we can handle 99.9% of the goal by just doing an MOU. And you said it in one of our meetings, you're like, why don't we just do an MOU? Like, makes sense.
Doesn't cost anything.
Couldn't cost anything.
Wasn't it your idea?
So
There's a lot of ideas.
no, so we give you credit for that. And yeah, I think it makes sense. So if you guys have questions for me, I'm just trying to help coordinate.
I had a quick chance to look at it, and first of all, there's 2 things. One is this is a really good idea. It does address that. And second, as you know, independently, we were talking about the Water Sewer Commission jointly having quarterly meetings. That's kind of put off. We are going to meet on the 9th, I think.
Yeah.
So that's what it has. So this dovetails really nicely with this kind of coordination thing that's important. But I think we need a little more time, but it's going definitely in the right direction.
Yeah.
And the sooner the better, because
And just to reiterate too, I think I've said this multiple times, like, I think you guys have done a pretty good job of, working with highway and communicating. So I feel like communication you've been fine with sewer. This just kind of formalizes it. We're trying to make DPW formalize it through an organizational structure, but an MOU does.
Well, yeah.
So it just formalizes it.
And the only comment I have here on the side basically is typically when road work have been done by us and it's the project, the engineers sit down with the police department, figure out a traffic plan. Now, if highway wants that, that's fine. If we still gonna say the same process we do now, that's the only real question.
Yeah, and we'll just
Other
have to
authority.
kind of work that out with police.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
the actual details. So yeah, if that makes sense.
Other than that, I mean, I don't think there's anything.
Okay.
It just, I bring this up only because it came up as part of the issue to help this formulate through you there. The traffic issues, there was some construction work that was on.
Yeah.
And I went back to, I reminded some people who, most of them weren't around. But when we did the sewer project the first time,
Yeah.
it was like amazingly difficult, but this, what you're trying to do here, we did very intensively.
Yeah.
We had everything shut down. We work at nights, we work at weekends, we were doing all kinds of stuff, and it went really well.
Right.
And we even had, we had the Nook tall tied up, but most people didn't complain too much because they knew it was coming, and they,
Yeah.
we did one street at a time. I mean, these folks lived down there.
Yeah.
That was 23 or 4 years ago, but
Right.
we
Yeah.
can do it right. There's a way to do it right. Just
Yeah.
communicating, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was what set this all off, was just there was a lot of work done. It was mostly water department that was doing work that there wasn't enough communication ahead of time. So people were like, what's going on?
If you want, we can send you, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but we'll send you a clean copy and then.
Sure.
Genius, and then.
Does
we'll
Dave
wait for
does Dave have
Roger.
any comments on?
So just
Yeah.
two small comments other than what Elaine brought up. So, and they're minor, but where it calls for infrared paving, underwater and sewer department shall. There was an issue that we were looking at getting some manholes infrareded, and it's a very expensive process. So I would just suggest in that, and we can do the verbiage on it, but or approved alternative method by the highway department.
That's fine.
So
And
it's like $4,500 a day for a crew doing that, where you
Yeah.
can get some manholes raised for, $800 a manhole. You
right.
got 2 or 3 of them, you have the cost.
And I know you may have been part of this, but I think there was something recently where Sean was looking at even sharing it, because sewer water was paying more per day than highway for infrared. And they're like, we each only need half a day. Why aren't we just doing one
Right.
for the 4,500 instead of one for 4,500 and one for 5,000?
Yeah.
Like split it in a day.
Right.
And that's why like doing this communication and you could.
Yeah,
end up-
Definitely.
Well, what Dave did earlier, just on supplies, the same kind of idea of
Yeah.
looking and sharing other towns, buying things and
Yeah.
what, or cheaper.
Yeah, the water department turned me on to a chemical co-op program that they were involved in.
Oh, nice.
And I was able to buy 3 totes for the price of 2 totes of
Yeah.
chemicals in the past, so it's quite a savings.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
If
yeah.
you do this on county
So-
level, we'll be,
I know.
And every time we get a department working collaboratively, you find out something new
Yeah,
and learn, some cost savings and time savings.
exactly.
So, and it's been great working with Sean over on Highway on some of these projects. We had a bunch of manholes on Country Club Way that we had, that
Yeah,
were sticking up quite a ways, and
Yeah.
now we've got them lowered down to a point. And you get a price from one vendor, it was something like 3,000 per manhole to lower it.
Yeah.
And then working with Sean, got about 800 per manhole, so it's substantial savings. So some of these things you kind of learn as you go, but
Yeah.
it's helping working collaboratively. So, and then the other item just to touch on is about that plowing. Originally, our labor position was created with the intention of during these snow events, we would supply that person to the highway department to work through. But we've been short-staffed now for about 5 years. So a lot of times when we have these storm events, we have 16 pump stations to not only plow out, but also shovel out, plus the plant itself. So there's a high demand depending on the storm and what time it hits and things like that. So that's why, that shall, if I'm fully staffed, I'd love to give 1 to 2 people to the highway bar.
Subject to availability
But exactly, so we can work on some,
until we get more staff.
terminology to
Yeah.
kind of land.
If we can get everything but that resolved the first round, we're doing good.
Yeah.
And storm by storm, the highway department will call over and ask who's
Yeah.
available, who's not, in anticipation of what time the storm's coming in, how bad it's gonna be. There's some nights that we camp out, the whole bunch of us stay at the plant shoveling all night,
Right.
opening things up, so if there is an overflow, we can get some water trucks down and deal with pulling pumps and things.
Right.
So
Well, here's praying that we don't have, big bad storms.
We've lucked out for a long
We have
time.
lucked out.
One of the only good things about climate change, doesn't snow anymore, has it?
I was that plow guy at that time. We got 110 inches of snow that year. So I was day and night. So I've been
It
there.
came up from a laborer to superintendent.
Yeah. All right, well, and just as an information to you guys, the TA search committee that I'm on, we found a person, so we're putting someone, we haven't announced it on the web yet. But it should be potentially tomorrow that we're gonna be presenting them to the Board of Selectmen next week and then hopefully moving quick to the beginning of the year.
Very good.
Good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as
Congratulations.
you left heavy administrative hunting, but it sounds like it's already done.
Yeah, and but we still don't have a building inspector, so if anybody, where's the camera? If anybody- anybody's looking for a building
Yeah.
job, yeah, so, all right, any other?
Thanks.
Fair enough.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you are.
All right,
Okay. So. We're.
To a betterment.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
We had done an approval like a year ago to put an office in a garage,
Okay,
and I have my water hooked up, but I guess I need to know where to hook up
Yeah,
the,
we were brought in for a meeting as about how to connect to the sewer, and then it had to come before the board.
okay, what's the property address?
29 Lay Road.
And,
It's vacant a lot.
no, it's a garage,
It's a garage on the property.
So Lay, how do you spell that?
LEIG.
No, Elliot.
down in the, it's off of Holland,
It's always down, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so in front of it. But it was, they vetted it, or they wouldn't have vetted the garage.
They could have, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you
I
say this,
mean, when we bought the house 2006, it said that there was a stuff
Okay.
out front. So we got the water application here, but I guess you had come down and talked to someone.
Yeah, I talked to you guys on the phone. I'm an excavation contractor, but I was looking for the permit, and so we had to come before the board, but it was basically if there was a location on the stuff and if we could tie into it.
okay, are you licensed drain layer with Kingston?
Not yet.
Okay, that's part of the process.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's just a matter of. Can you pull a road up? Oh, you can. Okay,
The garage is part of a lot with another house on it, is that how?
So it's not, it's got its own deed, it has its own mailbox, it has its own electricity. We have different bills for that and for the house. And it's owned differently.
Is there a toilet in there now?
No,
No, okay.
no, there's nothing,
Yeah, it's.
no,
There's no plumbing.
no, there's no
If
no
we have a
water or
fire
sewer.
with 2990,
Yeah, that'd be the
because,
first.
yeah, so we might as well
It's
at
got a
least,
betterment on it, not-
Yeah, it probably under betterment.
that solves a bunch of problems right there.
Yeah, but when you get your taxes, does it say anything about a betterment on it?
I don't.
It's like $238 extra on the line.
Wasn't there a year that it was finished being paid off?
not yet, that'll be in a few more years.
Oh, really?
But if you bought it, when did you buy it? In 06?
Oh, 06.
They would have paid it off.
The bank probably would have made you pay it off.
Whoever you bought it from would have had
Yeah.
to pay it off the transfer.
Okay, she just went downstairs to
Okay,
check our
so we'll-
files.
Yeah.
So,
Sit tight.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll, when she comes back, we'll bring you forward again.
Thank you.
Because we want to get to your answers as soon
No,
as possible as well.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Mark, you're here for, okay,
You want to, whatever you want. If he wants to sit
Oh,
over.
May I?
Need to move?
Nice.
Okay.
If you're comfortable, you can sit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody loves to look at the back of Mark's head. Oh, there you go.
so Silver Lake had that issue that I addressed, I think the letter and that be on the agenda, but, it didn't appear on this one, but.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was in the discussion, but, it
Yeah,
really comes under
it
something.
had to do with your manpower, so I think.
Right.
Yeah, we could do it under 7, under staffing,
If you take that out of order.
current staffing. Yeah.
So this is the letter that the school put out. They have 3 copies of that. And the attached piece is the actual description of what they're looking for. It's a temporary position to cover a vacancy we have due to medical for the sole remaining person we have that can operate the plant at Silver Lake, which is our director of facilities. We do not have either of the other 2 positions filled currently, and he's been on a stipend to maintain it while we're trying to fill these other 2 positions. So to speaking to what Dave was saying about filling positions, it's not an easy process.
Right.
And these positions happen to include being a custodian. So we're looking at perhaps separating the 2 and see if we can at least get into the pot that Dave's diving into that just has. But if you find anybody that would like to do both jobs, send them our way. This is the copy of the permit, which probably Brian can understand, but
Yeah,
Hey, Dave.
but I made a copy. That's like 30 pages, so I made one of those. So I don't know, this is over $10,000. It requires 3 bids. I'm not sure if you would bid it as a group or if you could pass it on to anybody that might in your workforce that might want to do it. And may be qualified to do that based on the requirements that are in the law. I just thought it would be nice to have somebody that has a little bit of ownership in our plant, take care of our plant, not a total stranger where we don't know what we'll get at the end. So I believe, I haven't read that. I got it this afternoon. I believe any major maintenance or anything else, there's backfill staffing to come in from our custodial staff to do heavy lifting and move stuff, which is what historically has been happening. Any big pump or anything needs to be moved or done. You can rally the rest of the workforce. So it's not something that requires a lot of man hour. You wouldn't have to send your whole team. It's the daily maintenance part that we need to do to make sure it's done right.
And this is a grade 4. I'm looking quick and I can't.
Yeah, I said,
It is probably.
Yeah.
It's what, 24,000 gallons,
No, this is need,
36,000 gallons.
oh, okay.
So it's in there. So
Does this need to be something that needs to be done within the school hours?
I don't know if it specifies.
No, it
It
wouldn't.
does.
I don't think so.
Because I'm just thinking, I
This
don't
is
know if one of the operators wants to go after work, one of those type of situations. And if there's an emergency during the day, yeah, just a thought.
Yeah.
Well, if this fits into your work schedule, I thought it might be, if we go into a permanent situation and you took it on as a contract regularly, you could increase your manpower base
Well,
within the department, and then you'd have the contingency to send somebody up and you'd have a funding source.
just a couple of questions.
Yep.
And so this second page, that's the article that's going out
Correct.
for the longer person, or is that?
I think that's just for the short term.
This is the short term one, okay. So there will be after 8 weeks or so, a more official, long-term contract.
We have to sit and discuss it on December, the first page tells you on December 11th, the
Right.
committee is going to discuss it as our facilities committee. And if we have to do any major changes, we're going to go on to the full committee at Silver Lake to make those changes. But it involves the union with the custodians. So I don't think it's going to be a quick fix. But we may have to extend the short-term one just to cover if we don't fill either of those positions. But if we look at a long-term fix, if there's a way that you, within what you have as resources, you're the only town within the region that actually operates a plant. So it's not like
Aren't we lucky? It's the best thing we ever did, I'll tell you that.
Wilmington doesn't even have water. So
So basically, just throwing it out there long term. We could get a grade 4 licensed operator paid for by the school, by Silver Lake,
right,
on our staff, funded by Silver Lake, and then we would manage this treatment plant.
that would be one
Why not?
Ideally.
Another model would be that you are able to go out and contract to take care of it. And then you would have an additional person that's full-time, your benefit package and everything else. So we do this with the police force, with our resource officer. So we put the funds up, but that person is still a member of the police force.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that model probably easier than us turning around and having a grade 4. You know, it just, I think there's an opportunity for economy of scale and saving some money here.
Yeah.
So,
So the operator, the person who's been operating now, is he available to talk to?
yes, he's
Okay.
gonna be available till Christmas time and before the medical.
Okay. So that we have some transition. This is not an RVC, this is a RVC. I mean, this is not our plant, it's an RVC. So it's a little different technology and it's not in the best shape, but I went and looked for it because that's one of the things I've been helping Mark. We're trying to get people trained to do this, you know, as we talked about before. So maybe this is something to take under advisement. So I'd be happy to take this up and work with Dave and see if there's anything, you know,
Yeah.
we're not gonna fix it tonight, but just to get the discussion going and I've made I actually asked my wife this, so that she won't kill me. But I could actually maybe stick my neck in this for a short time, see how Dave works, and then we can work something out, and I'm a grade 6, so I can do anything.
Yeah.
So I
Mike
can.
Wallace is the point of contact at the school,
Okay.
and if you have my.
See how we can help you, at least in the short term, get it over the hump, and then figure that out, and I don't wanna put many more.
Part-time job for the.
Yeah, there you go.
I can almost walk there.
Hey,
Yeah, pretty much.
way overqualified, but hey, we'll take you. You want to be a
Well,
custodian too?
No, I'm not into heavy lifting anymore.
There you go. But anyway, Mike Lawless is point of contact, and if you copy me as facilities chair at Silver Lake, I appreciate it, and see if we can come up with some win.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good discussion.
Awesome.
Hopefully it
Thanks.
works out for all of us.
Yeah, any other questions?
Well,
Cool.
Sorry, the
Might
the
need-
date that the quotes are due by December 8th.
Right, so it's a little short term, and I appreciate your help on it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sorry, one other thing, Mark, you have an estimate from 10,000 to 100,000.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? This is what I deal with all the time.
yeah, here's what I do.
We gotta try to fit this down.
I can do that.
So
Big
so
win.
no one,
Part-time.
no one shows up to bid, maybe we can go 999.
You know, it's a process that unfortunately makes running schools expensive.
Yeah.
And the prevailing wage and everything else we do. You know, as you do.
Yeah, let's talk about it. We can see what we have. We don't wanna.
Yeah, we don't have enough to do, but I'm certainly, we're gonna take a look and see what.
For one that you wrote in your time card.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pass this to Dave.
Does it show a betterment for that lot at all?
I don't think so. But the good thing is we have capacity, so we'll get you the sewer. It's
Yeah,
just how- based
How we're
on the
gonna do it.
plan, how it's gonna be.
Well, the betterment fee has already been paid on that, then you don't have to pay for a future betterment fee. If for some reason.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, right, that's why we're trying to figure this out.
Yeah, so tonight we can see how easy it is to connect, and then we can, and Jeannie can manage how it's gonna be paid, if it's paid, if there's a betterment, all of that. But I think your immediate need is, can you connect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And-
Number where is it?
29. But when I was at the water department, they said that they don't see it come up as a number. So
Yeah, cause you back.
But I know that's my mailbox.
Is that how it goes?
we got, yeah, the house is over on Marston.
Yeah.
But when we put the mailbox out, they had told us we had to have a number on every building, I think it was for the fire department. And I don't know where we got the number 29.
What, I'm thinking of, I live down there, so I'm trying to think who the owners?
Ayula,
Okay, who owned it before you?
Larson, is the older one.
Okay.
You know, the
when you go down Lay Road to Shore Drive, it's like the last, it's like a
Yeah,
garage right there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's only the guy on the corner
Right.
and then us.
Yeah, I know
And-
that garage.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you live right through the,
yeah,
right,
yeah, come on, Cole Street.
yeah, Cole Street.
So Shore Drive's got sewer, so even,
Shore Drive does, I forget specifically what was in front of that garage. This is showing a force main, but I'm not. That's further out. This plan here shows us the first, when you come on Lynn Road, the first house on the right,
yeah,
Mhm.
that's on a pressure main. But further down, I want to say that, I'd have to look.
What about Page?
I want to
You
say
know,
that's,
Page is,
yeah, Page has sewer.
yeah, right at the intersection.
Yeah.
It might be like a little bit right there. I remember years ago, I think it was brought up. that,
yes, we were supposed to get it, but then they put a cap yes, I think so, on the sewer was at capacity like,
That was
what,
like-
18 years ago.
Yeah.
And then when I got this building permit, then the water was at,
Okay.
so it's never been,
So the water moratorium, let you do go forward?
now the water's good, but they said the sewer wasn't, so, but now,
Yeah, we're good, we have plenty of capacity,
Yeah,
so,
You just gotta get to there.
yeah, so I think what it
40 feet.
comes down to is, we have the capacity, so it can happen. It's just a matter of how close there is for a connection, and what that would be on you to pay, depending on the connection, to get from that property to the
to,
nearest,
stub or sewer line.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure when you come off of Shore Drive, you come up Lay Road. What's the first right?
Page.
Page.
Page,
I think Page runs down to Lay Road and then down to Shore. Drive. So I think it would be gravity to there, but I can double check on that.
If not, it
But
might
we
be,
do
yeah,
have capacity
Right,
to have you tie in.
there's no problem. It
It's
might,
just your expense to bring it from that garage to the street or to the stop.
if there is a gravity, is it just an E1 pump up to the closest point or?
They should be able to gravity right into the main.
All right, so as
from where
long as
they're at.
that makes it even simpler. Yeah.
so why don't we take a vote to, provide, sewer capacity to 29 Lane Road? That will give you what you need to move forward, and then tomorrow, between Jeannie and Dave, they can have more specifics.
so who should I reach out to?
So Jeannie's off tomorrow
that's
for
right.
a family issue. I'll give you my email here.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Just contingent on the betterment being resolved.
My
Oh,
email,
yeah.
my cell number's on there as well.
Thank you,
Just
David.
reach out to me, And
Based on that.
once I get an email from you, I'll try and get you a copy of
So I'll second the
the
amendment.
actual
All in favor of the
tool
amendment?
of the garage.
Aye.
To see
Yeah.
if there's a stub
All
there for
in
you.
favor of the original
We
motion?
can go.
Aye.
Okay.
And
So-
that's all I'll be doing the.
Yeah, so Pat will be, can
So
I take a
then-
picture of that?
Oh, yeah, that might not be the most accurate.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
we're talking,
so, yeah, let's see. No, that one, that's up for.
I got glasses.
Yeah, we all do from time to time.
Yeah.
More.
So the
This area.
Yeah.
pages
Oh,
here,
yeah,
Blaze
You're
here,
probably right in this place on
the
Larson.
little garage.
Yeah.
yeah, right
So-
here,
They're like basically right
So
across.
The page would not go out to the other street.
yeah,
So once you email.
That
me,
goes
I
all the way
can
down.
take
You
a
know where
picture
that
of that
area
area
used to live?
and shoot it back
Oop.
to you.
Diane Porter, yeah?
okay.
No,
Okay, she was on the corner lot.
that corner.
Hopefully.
I've always seen that little garage there. It's
Yeah.
a very narrow
Across the
area.
way, There's a stub there.
But
that's
it's-
just laid on there.
Mhm.
Oh,
So there's.
Okay, so they have
Maybe,
Kingston
let's
Street
say
down
there's
here,
one over this way. I'll give you
But
the
the
location of that.
face
And
page,
then
right?
just if you're gonna be digging,
Yeah, I took a picture of it so that you,
we just
Okay.
gotta get you set up as a permitted. Excavator on our sewer system. And, once we get that all set up, we'll move forward from there, but I'll, let you
We'll be in
email
touch.
me, I'll get some
Okay.
information.
great, thank you so much, I'll email you. Good morning.
All right, good luck.
We're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good Thanksgiving, everyone.
you too.
And do you go to Maine?
I was there to get that hat.
That's it?
Made and all I got was a salad.
Stick to that.
Yeah.
But have a good
Yeah,
one.
we think happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, so I might as well turn it over to you, Dave. Start with the septage letter that went out and the updates.
Okay. Let me just get. All right, so, yeah, Jeannie, worked on getting a letter out on our last billing cycle to the septic haulers. So we let them know that the rates are going up for septic from 0.065 cents to 0.07 cents effective January 1. We did this because we try and mirror our rates with the rates in Plymouth. And once they went up, we've also gone up with just a fraction less than they are, just to keep keeping us as a favorable spot to get dump. And our septic revenues have increased greatly since we've gone to a 3-tank operation. So we just want to keep, with the cost of everything going up, just keep in line with everyone else in the area.
Long good news.
So that will only help us. What else we have going on? I've been asked by a developer doing some initial planning up at the mall for some information on whether they have enough ERUs or how many ERUs they have available. So that's something over the next week or so, I should be able to respond to them. They're looking for where they can tie into the system, which I'm just gonna guide them back to the mall owner's property in terms of tying back into their system. Cause I'll give them where our line ends and where the mall ties in, but that's all gonna fall back on the mall. Other than that,
Just-
we, go ahead.
Just on that point, because David mentioned this earlier to me, and that's the right answer to them all, but what just a flag came up as I thought about it, depending on the volume. They're at the far end, and I think most of our connections are at the Sears, what was the Sears end. There's nothing I'm aware of that goes further. It's just all internal plumbing. Comes to a point where it went to the sewage treatment plant that now gone, and then that connection goes to the new. Through the mall, through the apartments. How that lays out, I'm just concerned it's so flat. If they have a big, Macy didn't have much flow at all. And so just a flag for you,
Yeah.
They may need to come up with a relief sewer or a bypass, maybe the pump
Bring it
station.
outside.
To bring it outside and run it down, just so we don't get caught up with this plumbing issue and then.
Yeah.
With the internal plumbing.
I'll point it around.
Yeah, whatever that is.
All the way down, because it was only draining toilets, nothing else.
We either have an 8 or a 10-inch main out there.
Yeah.
So I'll let them know where ours ends and where the mall begins, so they have to work with.
Yeah.
With the mall to
Yeah.
decide how to plumb everything over to our.
They didn't
Through
replumb
existing.
it when they took Sears down and put those buildings in, out to their old pump,
I don't think so, but I really don't know what was
Yeah.
going up there.
because they did that all on property. We have no house built on that.
Right, I think all they did was swing from their old treatment plant.
Right.
Swing over to our
Yeah,
connection. Right.
so, yeah.
Right. at-
Yeah, they made a tiny, because I watched them dig it and it comes out to the road that goes out the back way from the car dealer there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's where that is. I mean, I remember the patch there, and it seems to me it went under the parking lot, just to the left as you come up, just to the left of the apartment building. It doesn't go under the apartment building. So they stubbed it in that way. But again, it's all, I'm just concerned we don't,
Their engineers are gonna have to deal with that.
we don't want to inherit a flat pipe. We don't, as long as it stays their property, but they
Oh, yeah.
know, we don't want to have to be dealing with slugs of grease or whatever comes out of there.
Yeah, by the calculations they gave us, they're within a couple 100 gallons of their upper limit that they requested. So
Good.
they fit right into what's already committed for ERUs up there. Good. From what I see. Good. So recently we had some emails come across. I guess the finance director is starting to close up the FY 25 budget. And Jeannie and I have been asked, we got 3 separate emails to kind of dig through, and we've gone through 2 of them essentially between yesterday and today. And a lot of it's going down different rabbit holes to kind of look back at some of the history on things. So we think we've got 2 out of the 3 issues addressed. One of them was I guess a miscalculation on the article at town meeting last year. So it looks like the math from the finance department was done. That turns out there's a $59,000 discrepancy from what was in there for the motion as to what it should have read. So we've got to kind of work through that internally, try and figure out how we can adjust this $59,000 shortfall that was miscalculated, I guess. So that's an email we got from the finance department. We're trying to work internally to resolve.
Is this an internal transfer kind of issue? Like our money to ourselves?
So
No, the motion at town meeting, the numbers in the motion were not accurate. Which, you've got the money.
No,
You
so
don't-
it's a transfer, it was authorized us to take our money, move it to one, it's our money moving it from one place to another, right?
Well,
So, go ahead.
So the numbers that they used.
Why don't you sit up here so that you at home can hear you?
So it looked like when they had put the budget numbers up, there was a miscalculation to come to the total after we added all the indirects. And I believe that Dave and I had given them numbers because the first round was incorrect and they had changed the wording in the motion. So when we went back through it, it is off the 59,000 because of a
A last minute change.
It looks like a last minute change that happened
Okay.
outside our
Well, if this, we can always request housekeeping correction at the Springtown meeting. So if this, I don't know, she hasn't closed the books yet. I don't know if from her side, if this is an issue, but from our side, we can deficit spend and make the housekeeping motion at town meeting in the spring. So we don't want to be the ones to hold up anything.
Right.
But I don't know what it does on her end.
And this was just brought to our attention Monday.
Yeah, the email went out Saturday, but you know, when we come in Monday morning, this was.
Okay.
So it's, you know, 59,000. We'll be able to work with it, I think, within our budget. Especially that, you know, as we roll into some of these other discussions like personnel, I imagine. That's not gonna be a very quick process for us to bring on 2 employees that were approved at town meeting. So there's some things we can work with. And kind of move some things around, and if we have to do the cleanup at the spring town meeting with anticipation of needing that 59,000 back. That would increase revenue too with the septic increase and our sewer rate increase and things. I imagine we'll be looking okay, but that's something we want to do. Next week and the week after is kind of wrap up our 24, 25 and 26 and forecast out how we're looking relative to our rate increases. And our first 2 billing episodes at the water department. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So there's no other discrepancies like that came up with the other questions, just.
No, there was just some issues with encumbrances, but we solved that. I gave all the documentation for that. And then she's just asking us to put together some revenue numbers and give information in regard to our rates, number of sewer users, and information like that, which is very easy to just take care of.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then back to my update. 114 Main Street, the laundromat. They continue to make progress. I stopped in there the other day. They have connected their sewer line into the system. Right now, their biggest hurdle, is trying to figure out their water side. So they're working on either putting in a private well or, getting town water, upgraded from what they have for a service connection. So that's outside our department, but as far as our department, things are moving along. 22 Main Street. They are going to be working on that tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Their deadline, I believe, is coming Friday to get that resolved. So that's moving along. The leaching fields, we had a meeting with CDM. Was it last Thursday or Friday? And we just went through some updates, what's expected, what's happened so far. And some of the seeds have started taking root up there. They did their hydro seeding in the last couple of weeks after they got connected to the water hydrant up there. I got permission to use the water hydrant. So the hydro seeding is taking place. Some of the erosion that took place in the last couple of storms, they went back and refixed some of the new erosion. The riprap that they put up there has really helped mitigate some of that runoff until the stuff establishes. So that's coming along. The agreement with CDM and CC Construction the other day with our Zoom meeting was that we're gonna let this seed process and field start establishing, revisit things in the spring. It'll give us a chance to see if the seed took, and then also kind of get a sense of how much erosion took place over the winter, if any. And then they'll have to get in and mitigate those issues. So we're just gonna kind of hold off and see, but not close out the contract at this point.
Okay.
But just to add to, they're definitely aware that they got it all the way through next spring to and fix anything. It's on their dime,
Okay. That's good.
their responsibility, so they're not, that was very clear. That was important me to hear.
Yeah, and their late application of the hydro seed, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the mornings lately have been getting awfully chilly.
Yeah.
This afternoon was beautiful, but the night times are getting pretty cold.
Keep checking on it. We offered to check myself, you know, between Dave and I would check on this thing. Looking at the long-term forecast, it's not gonna get cold to the point of being dormant till, believe it or not, until after December.
Oh, wow.
That's the long term. It keeps getting better. So we're gonna have 45, 55 type days and maybe freezing, but that field is up higher, so you get wind, enough wind. If it was down in a bog, you know, it freeze like anything, but if it's up high, it tends to mix. And then it gets freezing, so that as long as the roots don't freeze for like 7 to 8 days, they'll keep growing. And with the hydro mulch on, it tends to warm it up and keep it insulated. So a lot of things going good, I think.
Yeah.
And the grass was that high on the main part before they had to seed it. So
It'll be monsoons in the next couple of
yeah,
weeks.
we know that's the worst thing that happened.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, a couple other things Jeannie and I have been talking about recently is we have quite a few developments happening in town, requests for building. Whether it's new houses or, you know, the laundromat things. So we haven't gone through the process of getting.
The hearing aids. Yeah, hearing aids are doing that.
We haven't gone through the betterment process yet, so today we found some instructions on how that process is supposed to happen. And we just kind of talked with the finance director, and we're looking at after Thanksgiving, is trying to get some of the other departments involved with that process, that we can kind of put our heads together and start getting these going, because it's gonna come up quick. We have a couple of new houses going up the Country Club Way and the laundromat, so plenty more coming. A couple on Howard's Lane coming through as well. And then one last item was we took down tank number 3. Every 6 months, we'll take down a tank, and where we have 4 tanks, we'll rotate through and just keep 3 operating, take one offline at a time. And we check everything once we pull it down. When we pulled down tank 3, we found that a diffuser support bracket had let go. And one of the diffusers, the pie plate on top, actually fell off. So when we took it down, we actually had a spare one from our upgrade. We did all this work in-house. We took down the tank, cleaned out the tank, re-drilled supports and repaired the diffuser. So
Wow.
we got it back up and running.
Very good.
So.
So it wasn't under warranty.
No.
So, okay.
that was-
Is that one of the ones they fixed?
So this is a problem, I think, personally with this. There's so much rebar in that tank. When they went to drill the holes and supports for it, that they were hitting rebar every time they drill in.
Okay.
So they had to use a thinner grade of rod on this particular section, and I think that's what let go. It just sheared off. It's real close to the mixer.
Yeah.
There's probably a little more agitation there. And
Gotta do it.
so we upgraded that when we drilled in
Okay,
and got a thicker rod on it.
excellent.
Hopefully that'll hold things together.
That would be a decent program if it could continue to do it in the slower, like the winter month where it's not, is not so, not all the 4 tanks are full. However, you can work that out to do a regular maintenance program.
It helps me not having 4 tanks full.
Yeah, no, I know, really.
Having a
Especially when you're
spare in this
rotating up.
industry is huge,
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely keep 3 tanks as long as we can before we have to go into that one.
So remember that's gonna be.
I know, it's coming,
We're looking
Might
at
be
5
sooner
or
than
6
later.
are on the way, guys. It's just a matter of time.
but all done in-house.
So
that
we're
was
gonna put
good.
those other 2 tanks?
I,
Are they stainless, by the way?
Yeah.
It's nice to
Okay.
stainless.
316.
Yeah.
And then I might as well roll into staffing. So we put together a request for our 2 new positions. Is a part-time admin position. That was forwarded to HR. I think it was probably almost 2 weeks ago now that it was sent over. It was on late Thursday. I haven't heard anything back regarding that position yet. And the other position, the grade 4 operator position that we want to create for plant and collection system. That I'm hoping to have done by this Friday. If not, it'll be by Tuesday of next week.
oh, good.
So hopefully I'll have that at least into the HR department.
Yeah.
What happens to it from there, I'm not quite sure how long that'll take. And then our other operator that was out for a procedure injury from last January. There was a procedure done and he's doing physical therapy now. And from what I'm hearing, there's been progress. So I'm hoping that we may have that person back if things go well January-ish. But we'll see. That's a month by month, depending on progress.
And Byron please, he doesn't slip again.
Yeah,
January, continue coming back. It's what I get. Oh, no.
yeah, there was a slip and fall injury on ice.
I remember that day and I can believe anybody could have fallen that day. It was one of those frozen ice, like that slick ice that's not, it's hard and then they had powdered snow on top of it.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it
Yeah.
was, just a dusting on a sheet of ice. And then other than that, like there's not enough going on. We have Jeannie and I are gonna start working on the FY27 budget probably in another 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. Anybody have any comments on any of that?
All good news, actually.
Yeah,
All good news.
well, we'll do the commitments then. 8 Shore Drive, Jean, you want to explain that?
So what happened, with his property? It was overestimated for 33 quarters. Their average was like 17,000 gallons. It didn't build them, but they did replace the meter when they were able to get in there. Their sewer bill at present is 138,111.23. So we're gonna need to prorate that, to the 17,000 gallons. So with the consumption, user fee and leach and field assessment, it would take it to $316.51.
$316.51. I'll make a motion to adjust the quarterly bill for 8 Shore Drive to $316.51.
Second.
All in favor?
One question.
Sure.
So that, I'm not clear on how that's gonna be the new. I'm
So the difference in gallons between the previous read estimate and the actual read is 159,000 gallons. So they were finally able to get into that property and adjust and
Okay.
change the meter.
So over a quarter, they had 159,000 gallons more than they should have. And we're prorating it, and then from going forward, it'll be fixed. Yeah, was it, okay, oh, I get it now, all right.
And if I can just say one other thing, so on the Stewart accounts, the 401. When I take that out and put this new number in, we're still at the same threshold we were the last quarter of like 524,000.
Oh, good.
That is being billed out this
Good.
quarter, just on the 401s.
Oh, that's a big number.
Yeah.
138,000.
Yeah, they called yet?
No, it hasn't been billed out. If we
Okay.
build it out, they'd be
Yeah,
probably down here.
as I
With
would be.
pitchforks.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Then the final two commitments, 26-27 for $140.21 to close out a real estate transaction. And then 26-25 for $266.39. Again, another final bill for a real estate transaction. I'll make motion to accept those commitments.
Second.
All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Okay, so we confirmed with the water commissioners for 12/9? And is that a 4 o'clock meeting or do we know what time?
Or
4 o'clock.
And are we meeting back here afterwards or no?
What do we,
I don't
what do we want to do?
know. I thought maybe you could post 2 meetings. And then we wouldn't meet for the rest of,
Yeah,
that's
December,
probably a good idea, actually.
yeah, okay,
so do 4 o'clock there and 4:30 here. And we'll just come back over here.
And the agenda for that meeting, they haven't actually posted it yet. I mean, what they wanna talk about, as I understand it, is meters and paying for meters and things like that, which we can kind of had a little bit of discussion about. And then, I think we wanted to bring up the quarterly meeting, but now we have this MOU. It might be a perfect segue to pull all those things together since they've seen it and they'll have seen our adjustments and,
yeah,
So-
Good idea.
you
Yeah.
know, so that could be like our, kind of our semi-official stuff.
yeah.
And,
And what I can do is adjust the MOU, Dave, based on your comments. Yeah, make sure it looks nice and clean and then you can send it over to water.
And then maybe we want to talk about, the indirects, what we pay and they pay.
Yes, make sure that they put that on there, please. Yeah, town allocated costs, upwards of $500,000 and there's even more than that. So between the two departments, we're paying a substantial portion of particular department budgets. So if we coordinate our efforts on reviewing those documents, it'll be advantageous to both of us.
It'd be good and then have Gene and David, Gene and Stacy work out
Right.
these kind of things. Those are the perfect things to talk about.
Exactly.
And then, you know, everyone saw the draft I put out and then, so the chair of Water Commission, seeing that, we've had brief discussion about it. Some of those things are not important and I kind of, in the emails we sent internally, 1, 4, 6, and 7 and 8, those are the ones that they were mainly money and coordination issues. There's a lot of things there that are important, but they can wait.
Okay,
But, you know, I think the whole idea is a living, working relationship that's all positive, getting things out. So it just makes everybody happier.
yeah,
And Dave also said that we should have site visits to the plant and to water.
Like the water department will come in and check our meters at the plant just to make sure that, everything's, I think it's twice a year or quarterly they come in. But I've never been to one of the water department facilities in town, and I think for the commissions from both departments to see what each other's dealing with, You know, even down to having just outside thought processes on, well, what do you have for emergency equipment? What is it that we could buy
Mhm.
together
Yeah,
and maybe
Share.
instead of
yeah.
both having an emergency at
Absolutely.
the same time?
Yeah.
But probably pretty slim, but you know, there might be some things, even though you want to kind of keep it for contamination issues, keep things separate, but there might be some things that you can share each other's, you know, emergency generator or something along that. line.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see the manganese. I've asked to do this, and we just haven't put together the manganese iron removal plant. It's up there. It's a big facility. And that's a new technology that I'm not familiar with. I used to
Grassy
work-
hole with the grassy
Yeah,
hole.
that's a
Yeah.
whole different technique.
But they got one over on Elm Street too, over that area.
That's not for manganese. That's just, that's a carbonate. That's just a buffering.
I thought there was manganese earlier too.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. The only one is that one. They
On
were,
South Street's another pump station.
yeah, the South Street, those are all fine.
Yeah.
Elm Street, I don't know how much they use it. You're right. I don't think there's a manganese problem there, but there may be. South Street definitely doesn't have. That's just bicarbonate.
For some reason, I thought that was the first plant they put manganese. in.
Well, there's the old Winthrop one. They don't use it anymore. That had a manganese problem.
Okay.
They really didn't treat it well. I mean, it was an old thing with I worked in the Weymouth plant and they had this, it was they use green sand, which is a special kind of sand. And they use wood. Believe it or not, they use some kind of cedar that have an affinity for manganese and sticks to the wood.
really?
Charcoal filter?
But it's actually electrostatic kind of thing. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's some old guy back in the 1800s figured this out. And I've lost the technique in my head, but it's fascinating stuff.
Wow. Okay, so we'll plan on the December 9th meeting, 4:30. We'll gauge, Jeannie, if you can gauge what they think the timing would be. We may have to go 4:45 or something, but
Yeah, if we're not first on the list.
Yeah. Figure that out and then, fingers crossed, we can not re-meet again until January.
Cool.
But of course, as always, if something happens, we can certainly meet within 48 hours.
Mhm.
So that was tentatively 3 o'clock. So
4 o'clock, 12/9.
that's the 12/9. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta change that then. I'll do that.
And then Jeannie, when you book in the room, if you can see who's in after us,
Yeah.
we have to be in by a certain time or whatever that might, if we get extended out at the water department, it might creep in on
And,
our available time here.
and if need be, I can always leave work early, if it turns out a 3 o'clock meeting is better better.
Isn't that when they meet? Is that 3 o'clock?
3:30,
3:30.
3:45?
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's typical.
Is it better if we meet or before that meeting? Just so we don't bump into room issues over here?
We can see what's available. right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, see what works best.
the little closet
So say
back
like-
there is just about big enough.
So say like 2:30, right?
Yeah, 2:30, yeah, 3, so
Really,
see what's
See
available,
what's available.
and then what's available after, from 4:30 on.
You're the one that has the most straightest with that. I can actually be flexible, which is nice.
I'll be able to get the time off if we meet before. So,
I do have this following up on the last couple of meetings. This is the amended agenda, exhibit CDM. I'm still working on it, so I don't want to give, I sent the copy of this to Jean just so she had it, in case anyone wanted to see it. But one of the comments that I've already talked about is following up on our last meeting, adding to this scope of work, feasibility of looking at a gravity sewer on Marion Drive, coming from the top of Marion Drive down under this railroad down to the pump station to address the apartment 40B project. And I haven't mentioned it today, I don't think, but and the feasibility, I have an engineering study of that, cost wise, but it would also, because we're gonna do Papa Beach, by having them separate, Scott Beach is definitely going the other direction,
Yeah.
downhill. It may make that pump station for the school, the elementary school, a minor upgrade. You're talking about 10, 15 houses as opposed to 150 apartment buildings going that way. You know what I'm saying? So if you split the flow, I'm presuming the pump station is, again, this is part of the engineering, but the one we've had issues with. This might be a chance to fix that at the same time.
The one at Hilltop or
No,
Marion Drive?
Marion Drive. that you've had recent issues with.
Yeah, yep.
You know, get that, so that's another, you know, we're putting the apartment building in there, there's 46,000, I think, 42,000 gallons a day. That has the capacity, and the idea here is, it goes to the question you brought up earlier, the request from the mall. How much flow? This gets to the mall ownership. Forget the new, whatever they're doing, there's other things that the planning department has told us, told me, about what if that happens. They're talking about, we have the MBT overlay, so now you have 3, 4, 5, 600 apartments more up there. So for Dave and us to have a, you know, we're talking about 100,000 gallons a day, but more or more. It's just to keep it on the radar screen now, because it's,
Yeah.
you don't want to do half of it
Right,
and then have to go back in
right.
and have 15 different pipes going, you know,
Right.
just,
You gotta figure out what the capacity of those pumps are that are there.
yeah, do it all now and get it
They
fixed.
were rated, they were rated for the new
Yeah.
apartments up there, but when were they rated for something bigger? You
Yeah.
know,
And
like
having
overwhelmed.
Dave making the decision, and we need, if they want, I'm making this up, a 6 horsepower pump, and he wants us 8, we're gonna get an 8, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And we don't want to be in a good pump, you know, whatever it is that we want. We want to make sure we're not, if somebody's gonna be paying for that on their property, but we don't inherit our,
well, and that's it. We do it right the first time,
exact,
second time.
it's all good news though.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's interesting you bring up that point, because I was looking at some plans for town center pump station. And before I came here, that was all modified. That was a smaller plant. And then once Big Y and Socket Shop and all that came over, they upgraded town center pump station and upgraded the force main going up.
Exactly.
So to your point, you know, looking forward, having some options, be handy.
It was one of the last things I was involved with, is doing that, because we wanted that to be a bigger pump station at the beginning, because we knew we were going there, but a lot of people in town said, no. This is where the phase, to me, phase 1 was the whole thing. And back then it was phase 1 went to the town center and it wasn't up the hill. We started, we were having meetings with them already. And then it was like, no, you can't do that. Well, we're gonna do it. And
I remember that.
so,
It flops around.
Yeah,
That's what phase 1.
what do you think, you know, all those, it's just that whole brook is right there,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, many stories people have said, and I know you've all heard them, that you'd look between the floorboards and stuff would just be flowing into the,
Oh, yeah.
into the stream or river, whatever.
I always
It's
go
called-
back to when I first moved to town to get my hair done. And I was looking down in the sink, and the sink was right down into the river. You could see the river
And I
through the
never
hole.
heard.
No, I was like, get my hair done, she'd go to wet my hair, and I'm like, look, it's like- and literally, you could see the river running underneath.
In Weymouth Landing, which,
That was the perfect spot for the salon.
in Weymouth Landing, there was the old, it's gone now, but the oldest bar in the United States, other than one in down in Florida. What's the name of the town, anyways. But they had, well, Weymouth Landing's all sewer from a long time ago, but they still, up until they closed this bar, they had a dumbwaiter, and they would take beer, a bottle of beer, and the Smelt Brook went right under the square, okay, in a pipe. Right there, they had a hole, like a concrete thing, and they would drop the beer down into this river, they had this, it was like the fridge. It was, but it went, we were talking like 17, 18.
Yeah, keep the
Yeah,
beer
keep
cold.
Beer cold in the 1800s. They went right down, because it was a spring-fed brook. And then, you know, and I used to go in there when, you know, when I was drinking and stuff back in the high school days, you know, those kind of things. And they'd bring it right up and they'd pull it right out of the thing and put it back down.
Hey,
That's cool.
it worked. Okay,
It
so,
wasn't sewage.
Yeah,
so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.